Hey, welcome. If you hear us say anything in this podcast that sounds fucked up, we're probably joking, so calm down. Also, sorry for all the profanity.
Just some guys. Just some guys. Just some guys. Just some guys. Podcast.
Oh boy, it's time for the
Just Some Guys podcast.
It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Your favorite time of the week.
Totally.
Actually, it's a day late because usually we do it on Thursdays, but it was my birthday on Thursday,
Happy birthday.
which was yesterday. Thank you. I had fun. I was at the hospital all day. Oh, working. I didn't get a fucking shot or anything. And then I went out to eat with my parents, and it was fun. And then I came home and fell asleep immediately because I was very tired.
I didn't ask, but okay.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were gonna, though.
No.
You always ask.
Yeah, well, you never ask me, so I'm returning the favor.
I was just gonna ask you, but you hurt my feels.
That's a lie. You're just trying to poop.
You would know if I was trying to poop. So, Matt.
You don't try to poop. You do poop.
How was your week?
Pretty weaky, man. Pretty weaky. I've got a fair amount of things to talk about this week. You know?
I like when we have things to talk about.
Me too, Me too. I'd like to start with, I have finally decided to watch the whole trilogy of The Hobbit. And because the only movie that I saw of that was the first one. And I rewatched it again yesterday, The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. And it was a lot better than I remember it being. I remember not being too impressed with it when I saw it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it when I watched it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lovely fantasy romp.
I don't want to put a stick in your spokes or anything like that. But
the hell does that even mean? I don't have a bike.
I don't have a bicycle.
Quit with your dumbass metaphors.
But I think the first one was my favorite, and then the next two were not as good.
Well, I watched The Desolation of Smaug today, and I was quite underwhelmed comparatively to the first movie. I don't know. It was just not as. I don't want to say not as good. It just wasn't as impactful.
You're right. I don't think
it was totally like a bridge movie. Just bridging the first and the third, which I haven't seen the third yet, but
which sucks because they should have never made that a trilogy. It should have just been a 2-part series.
It feels like it should have been so far. The second movie feels like it should have been part of the first movie.
Right.
I feel like this whole trilogy could have been one movie, one really long ass movie, which sounds crazy, I know, because the extended version of Desolation of Smaug is 4 hours long. But I don't really care. Right. I don't really care if movies are long. If they keep me entertained the whole time, I don't care.
Yeah, right. I think this should have been a 2-parter, like you said. I think they could have made the first one longer. And the last two could just be one movie. And I don't know. It felt very long and drawn out. I have a feeling that when you're watching the third one, this is what happened to me. When I watched the third one, I was kind of just all right, get it over with. I was like, yeah, here comes all the things I thought was going to happen. And can we just stop, hurry up, and get done with this?
The big thing for me that I've really noticed so far is that all that this series is really making me want to do is watch The Lord of the Rings again.
Yeah. I kind of think that's what they...
Because it keeps eluding to a much larger epic storyline rather than just a bunch of dwarves trying to get their home back.
Right.
Which I like that. The dwarves are amazing characters. They're like the seven dwarves if they were badass.
They're badass drunks.
Yeah. I love the way that they work together in like a weird I don't know, like in a weird you know what I'm talking about?
In a silly fashion.
Yeah, they're all hopping on top of each other's backs and tossing each other axes, and I don't know, they're very in sync with each other, but it looks natural to them, and it's just fun to watch. One of my favorite moments in the Desolation of Smaug was when that fat dwarf, the really fat one with the braided beard, they were all like floating down this river in barrels, and orcs were chasing them. And the fat guy, the fat one, like fell out of the river and was rolling around the sides of the riverbank in the barrel, totally unrealistically. But what the hell, this is a J.R.R. Tolkien movie. It's not a. If there's any movie you just suspend your disbelief for, it's this one. So he was rolling around like crazy, just crushing dozens of orcs. And then he landed and the barrel broke, and he stuck his arms and legs out of it, and it became like barrel armor.
his tiny fat little arms and legs just come popping out of the fucking barrel.
And he's got two axes, and he just starts just fucking up all these orcs. And he does this little barrel spin. I was laughing my ass off. That was definitely my favorite part of the Desolation of Smaug.
So apparently in the books, Legolas isn't even in the books, in The Hobbit.
I didn't know Legolas was such a prick, man. In The Lord of the Rings, he didn't seem like such a prick. In this one, he's like an asshole. But it seems like this was his story of not becoming an asshole.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. And they didn't need... That's what I'm saying, though.
Or becoming not an asshole.
They threw Legolas in there because Legolas was everyone's favorite. Well, not everyone's favorite, but... He was a big favorite.
Who was your favorite in Lord of the Rings?
Jesus. That's a loaded question.
I honestly don't think I had a favorite. I liked Gimli.
I want to say Aragorn.
He was too serious for me. He was too... I don't know. The Lord of the Rings trilogy had a lot of those moments.
Samwise.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy had... That's one thing I've noticed that the Lord of the Rings trilogy has that this one doesn't. The Lord of the Rings trilogy had a lot of moments where they spend like 5 minutes of Aragorn like looking at something with like, you know, like kind of motion blur, and it's all like weird and misty looking on the video, and he's just like looking at something, you know, and there's like
Well, the thing about the first trilogy was, and this is rare, only like Star Wars and a couple other movies have felt like this to me, but the sequels were better than the original.
See, it's been so long, I couldn't say if I thought that or not. I'm definitely going to go back and watch them again once I finish The Hobbit.
To me, every movie got better. The first one was great. The second one was amazing. And the third one was amazingly great. And they kept getting better in every time. And I know a lot of people gave it a bunch of flack, the third one. A, because of how long it was, but B, because it had like 6 endings. But I loved the ending of the Return of the King, because I remember sitting in the theater and watching it and having all these... no, I was choked up a little.
You were crying.
A couple of times.
You were definitely crying.
Dude, I haven't cried since Braveheart, okay?
You cried at Braveheart?
Dude, like a fucking child.
Oh my gosh, dude. When how old were you when you watched it? I love Braveheart, and I've watched it like probably 5 times, and I've never even come close to crying.
Well, let's see. When did Braveheart come out? Braveheart came out in 95. So I was 12. But I remember I didn't see it until I was probably like 14 or 15. And the funny thing is, I was at my buddy's house. his parents rented it, and so we stayed and watched it with them. And at the end of that movie, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like my teenage angsty hormones, along with the music and the scene at the end where they're torturing him, and he says freedom. When he said freedom and that music started playing, like the bagpipes started playing, I lost my fucking shit in front of all, like, my friends' parents and like my one of my best friends, and I'm just like literal like like blubbering like an idiot. And that's legit the only movie I've ever cried at.
The only movie I can remember crying at was when I was a kid, maybe like 10 or 11, and that was the Titanic. I remember saying this phrase exactly to my mom. Why did I have to die? And she's like,
wow.
It's just a movie.
Jesus, I've never seen Titanic.
I mean, whatever. It's not ridiculous. It's not amazing.
I just remember that movie was the biggest movie when it came out, and people were fucking shitting their pants over it, and I had no desire to go see it, and I never did. And I hear it's okay, but you know,
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like it's not like I'm surprised you haven't seen it, but it's not like one of those things where I'm like, you better go fucking watch it right now, you bitch.
My favorite thing about Titanic, the movie, is the fact that a bunch of kids nowadays think that it's just a movie. They had no idea that really happened. Like, I've heard from several younger people, like, I'm sure you've seen the pictures online, like, did you know that the Titanic really fucking happened?
Doesn't it say in the movie based on a true story?
Yeah, but a lot of movies say that and don't mean it.
I guess.
Like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was fucking, I think at the beginning of that movie it says based on a true story. If it says based on a true story, it could literally be some dude killed people, and then you could make it up however you want.
Yeah. I know a lot of horror movies do that.
Because they're horror movies.
That is so inappropriate, dude.
I know, but it's the truth.
Why did you sound like that? Why are you making weird noises?
I had a mouthful of chicken.
All right, okay, good to know then. That's good to know.
So, you know what? Should we talk about what we did this week during the video game section? Because technically,
I get it doesn't really matter to me, but
yeah. Do you have more to talk about?
I did have more things to talk about.
Let's hear it.
I saw a funny article online. It's maybe you've heard of it. A flat Earth person did an experiment.
Saw it today.
He brought a level onto a plane to prove that the Earth is flat.
I won't ever understand this whole flat Earth thing going on
Here's
right now.
Here's some tweets from this guy. His name is D Marble FE. So that's weird. He says, I took my spirit level, his spirit level, on a flight to check for curve, but alas, I found none. And then here's the next one. Dear #globe suckers. If the Earth is a globe, how can planets between Earth and the sun be viewed at night? I'll wait. #flat Earth. Hold on, let's dissect this a little bit. Dear if the Earth is a globe, how can planets between Earth and the sun? What?
So, first of all, this man is an idiot.
There's two planets that could possibly be, not all the time, but at some point between the Earth and the sun.
Right.
Which is Mercury and Venus.
Right.
And how can they be viewed at night? Because they reflect light from the moon and the sun. How is that not?
If I'm thinking like an idiot, which is usually what I do, I would have to say that this guy made the mistake of, I think he's talking about if the Earth isn't flat, then how come when
I didn't even think about that. How does that even have anything to do with the fact that
it has zero to do with it? He is, well, first of all, we have to say this. This guy's a fucking idiot.
for sure.
I'm pretty sure he meant planets past the Earth, so planets that are beyond Earth, so that the Earth is in between the planet and the sun. I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying to say.
What?
So okay,
You just totally lost me.
so Mars. Let's say Mars. Okay, the Mars is
Further away from the sun.
further away from the sun. If the Earth is a globe, how come at night when the Earth is supposed to be in between Mars and the sun, we can still see Mars at night? Because he's saying that the Earth should block out the rays from the sun.
Does he not understand how orbits work?
He doesn't understand. That's the thing. He doesn't get it.
The planets orbit the sun, D Marble.
Yeah.
They're not in a line.
No, they're all in the line, bro.
I wonder if this guy graduated high school. I honestly wonder that.
Are you saying that because he's black?
Until right now, no one knew that. So, I don't know if that says more about you or me, because that is not what I was saying. I'm saying that because he clearly doesn't know about orbit. You stupid bitch. How dare you? Anyways, there's one more tweet I'd like to read.
Please continue.
It says, "Wait! Stars are explosions that occurred millions of years ago," spelled YRS. "Yet, just now we see the light through all recorded history. Get the fuck out of here. Hashtag flat earth." That one might be the stupidest of all.
It's for sure the dumbest of all. Like,
I guess calling stars an explosion is kind of right. Kind of?
kind of. I mean, yeah,
I'm not a scientist, but a star is basically like a constant explosion. It's a bunch of gases that are on fire. I mean, it's not.
They're basically
exploding in the sense that you would think.
They're basically mini suns.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And you can see they're like.
But if on Earth, if you set some gas on fire, that would be called an explosion. So okay, I guess.
Yeah,
I get
right.
That. So that occurred millions of years ago.
This is what happened in my head. This is what happened when this man found this out. He was online doing research about his sun and Earth theory and other planets, and came across something that said that stars in the night sky could have possibly been burned out for hundreds of years, thousands of years before we even recognize it, because it takes them that long to travel to Earth for us to see them, right?
Yeah.
He saw someone put that online and he went, "What?" and thought, this for sure means that people are crazy and I'm smart.
Do you think he might be religious?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because religious people think that the world is like I don't even know, like 2,000, 4,000 something. I don't know.
They think the Earth is like close to 2,000 years old.
That's the only explanation I'm trying so hard to give this guy the benefit of the doubt right now.
I know.
I just can't.
It's so. I don't understand. I don't get it. Why all of a sudden do people think the Earth is flat again? Again.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's an amazing question. And I really do think that the only answer is people are dumb.
Oh, God.
Wait, would a level work in a pressurized cabin? Yes, but gravity pulls the plane back to Earth, and so does so with the liquid in the level 2, the plane and the level are perpendicular to gravity, which acts as a sum vector of the Earth's mass, pulling towards the Earth's center of mass. You think he would have looked out the window at the curve in the horizon like at least one time?
that's the thing that I don't get about this whole flat Earth thing is that these people legitly think that.
Hold everything. What did you just say?
Legitly?
Don't say that. Continue.
That was legitness.
We were doing really good at sounding semi intelligent, and then you said
Okay,
legitly.
right.
You ruined it.
There are people out there that legitimately think that.
Thank you.
They think that
Fucking legitly.
all of these facts and pictures of don't fucking say it, you cocksucker. Pictures
Thank you. I would have given you way more shit, but I had Diet Coke in my mouth.
of the planet from space clearly shows a globe.
That's just propaganda from the government,
Right.
though, dude.
These people all think that these are just lies being told to us by the government or Big Brother or whoever the fuck they think. That's who they believe. They believe that. They don't believe all of the documented photos and science behind all of it. And it just kills me. Like, this guy's... Wasn't his argument about this whole thing with the level be that if he said something about the curvature of the Earth and needing to keep the nose of the plane down? I don't know. I can't even...
I really think it all boils down to people have they already have an opinion, right? And then when they do their research, the only facts that pop to them are the ones that support their own opinion. You know, so it's like there's a saying, I can't remember what it is, but it goes along the lines of like, let me think of how to say this. It's just like if you're looking for something, you'll probably find it. That's not. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it's like if you're really looking for something really, really, really hard, you're gonna find it. And I'm not meaning that in a literal sense. It's a metaphor. But I don't know. I may have just confused the whole topic there because I'm not being smart. But hopefully you guys out there in podcast land understand what I'm talking about. Because I'm trying my best, people.
You're doing a great job.
Here's some more comments. Looks like these are comments that are in response to this guy posting his own video about, his level. And these appear to be people that support it. Teen Foilat, that's an interesting last name, says, "Nice work, dude. This needs to be viral, in quotations, activity. I'm hoping to see many more air travelers follow you, confirming your findings for themselves." Yorkshire Lash Tracy says, "Love this. Something anyone going on a flight for their jollies this summer can recreate. Thank you for sharing your experiment." And someone whose profile is named Question Everything says, "Awesome work, Dr. D. Marble."
Doctor!
Oh, sorry, Mister. I saw the D in my brain.
I was like, they called him a doctor? Is that all you need to become a doctor anymore? Is to come up with some stupid fucking theory?
Well, look, I already established that was my mistake, so no. I just honestly, to me, I see this as just like a harmless entertainment for me.
Yeah, exactly.
These people can believe whatever they want, but I just think it's hilarious.
And I'm gonna call you stupid. Know that, because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here
Okay.
because I like to do that.
Yeah.
In all things. Here's the thing, right? The reason that I believe the Earth the Earth is round, a globe, if you will. Do you remember hearing that tweet that the Flat Earth Society, or maybe it was a Facebook post, I don't remember, but they were like, the Flat Earth Society is spreading far and wide, and we're getting new members all over the globe. And someone commented on it. Read that again, but slowly.
It's so fucking funny.
But anyways, back to what I was saying. The reason that I believe the world is a globe is because, you know, I've been on airplanes and I've seen the curvature on the horizon, and I believe what I've been taught in school, and you know, things that I've read. I choose to believe that. I've never been in space, and I've never seen the Earth from space before, but I believe the pictures, and I think that it's bizarre that the government would try to make people think the world is a globe. I don't understand why that. I don't see why they would be motivated to do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I've always been an advocate for not believing what you hear, and figuring it out for yourself. So at these people's level of intelligence, they're doing that. They just perhaps don't know or don't believe the same things that I do. So on that level, I give them the benefit of the doubt. But it still blows my mind that there are people alive today, 2017, who think that the world is not round. Like with boats and with airplanes, I don't. And this guy thought that his whole airplane thing was proof of his argument. I love it. There's a picture of here with him on his plane. Also, he's got the window closed. I can see in the picture. So, and he's got his level, and it clearly says it's level, and his spirit level, which must be special in some way. And he's got a timer next to it because that correlates in some way.
Like I said, the one that I saw, he explained it. He explained the fucking whole thing. And it was like, we're traveling at so many miles an hour. We've traveled for 2 hours. In that 2 hours, his level hasn't changed at all. Which means, in his mind, that means that the plane hasn't dipped its nose or
actually, I didn't even think about that. With those people were commenting about how levels work, and it kind of flew over my head. But if you think about like the super basic like physics of it, levels work by gravity and buoyancy, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a bubble in there, and I get it now. That's how. Okay, I understand what they were saying now. So that makes no sense.
No, there's no way it would work.
It would always be level.
Yeah, always.
Unless you tilted it, but it would just always.
He doesn't ever put it onto like a flat surface, or he just holds it in his hand.
On the plane, if you put it on a desk, it will be level because the plane is that. I can't say it because I'm dumb, but I get it in my brain. I just can't say the words. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. What were you saying before I interrupted you?
Just this whole the whole thing is just mind-blowingly dumb, and the fact that there are other people out there that are like, "Yeah, bro, good point. I never thought of this." Like, there's a reason you never thought of it because it's nothing, and it's I don't understand, man. I don't get it. And like you said, why? First of all, why would anyone give a shit if the government is making us think that the Earth is round for some reason? And B, who cares if it's flat or, you know?
I'm just trying to think what's the connection that people would think? What's the government's motivation for trying to make it? It's a global conspiracy. It has to be. Otherwise, I mean, it would be the only thing that every single nation in the country would be would agree on is that we're gonna make our people think that the Earth is flat or that the Earth is globe.
The Earth is round.
That would be the only thing.
We don't agree on anything else. Nothing.
It must be the Rothschilds.
Just
all them.
Just that the Earth. We're going to fool everyone to think that the Earth is round when it's really flat.
But what's their motivation for that? What do they gain? What do they have to gain by doing that?
Taxes.
Is there a globe tax I don't know about?
Apparently, it's got to be something like that, right? There's got to be a reason behind it. Let's just say taxes or fucking gas tax.
It gives them an excuse. No, that doesn't work either. I was going to say it gives them an excuse to put planes in the air to drop chemtrails, but that doesn't make sense either because obviously.
You know why it doesn't make sense, Matt? Because
why?
It's nothing.
I don't know why. I honestly don't know why I'm trying to give. Maybe because I really don't like to believe that there are people out there this dumb. Because you don't even need that much evidence. You don't even need to believe what they teach you in school. It's observable.
Right. And don't get me wrong, I don't believe everything that I learned in school.
Oh, 100%. I'm a huge cynic. I mean,
right.
If you listen to this podcast, you know that.
But there are certain things that just basic science tells you. And studies of the Earth, and for one, NASA, they've sent so many things to space. International Space Station. They're government
funded, man. Government funded.
Right, the Earth government, because it's an international space station with all the different,
I think Russia is the one that's the most involved in that. I think so. I don't know, but.
Oh, dude, there it is. There's the connection right there. Russia plus Trump equals conspiracy.
Leaking information. Trump leaks.
Trump leaks!
Evidently that was a thing this week. But I guess that's all I have to say about the flat Earth thing. I saw that and I really wanted to talk about it. And it's been 30 minutes now. And I would just like to remind everyone right now, because I forgot to at the top of the podcast. Why don't you subscribe to us on YouTube? We put out a cool, funny video today. Some lovely people in some part of the world that I don't know.
Are you going to put that? You should put that video on our YouTube page.
I will if I wanna.
Ladies and gentlemen, please go see this. Go watch this video.
It's literally just an advertisement for our podcast, but we love it. Phenomenal.
Matt had this idea when we were hanging out last. I told him to go for it. He went for it. He did a great job of getting it all done. And by that, I mean hard. He paid $20 or whatever.
I just had $25.
Ooh!
And it was 100% worth it.
Totally worth it.
Even if this video doesn't match my expectations of what I wanted it to do, I'm still happy with the product. And I showered them in good reviews because they did exactly what I wanted.
It's exactly what we envisioned.
Yes, that is literally 100% what I envisioned. Good job. Good job. What are they called? Let me give them a shout out. They will advertise things for you and do things.
Big Eric and the boys?
No. They are called... One second. Jungle Drone.
Jungle Drone.
Fiverr.com.
Just they... Don't, you know what? We didn't pay them anything. Those are just really big fans of our show. They want you to enjoy it like we do.
Yep.
Or like they do.
Yep, they thoroughly enjoy it. We've got a really big demographic in wherever they are.
Yeah.
I just assume it's India because they look Indian, and the jungle looks like it could be in India. So I'm a giant racist. You can go ahead and say it.
It's not racist if it's true, Matt. You just have to hope it's true.
Racism, we've discussed this, is when you make negative stereotypes or make negative assumptions based on race. So
no,
that's not racist.
Racism is being white. Next topic.
Yep. Case closed, everybody.
When you're a white male, you're racist.
Case closed. All right, well, let's talk about our amazing, hilarious Pokemon Go experience.
Boy, oh boy. Everyone,
So,
this is...
me and Brody and I, I hit up Brody on Monday or some day, and I was like, "Hey, man, here's the whole story. I opened up Pokemon Go after work for 3 minutes and caught one of the most rare Pokemon in the game, Ditto. I got my very own Ditto. Everybody, his name is Didu, and I love him. And that kind of gave me the Pokemon Go bug again. So I hit up Brody and we played Pokemon Go that day.
It was an absolutely gorgeous day out.
It was like 80-something degrees.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Totally out of the ordinary this time of year. It was not 80 degrees today, which made me sad. But
yeah, it's back down into the fucking 50s. Thanks.
I'm still happy with that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to catch some Pokemon right now on the podcast.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to turn mine on, too.
A Slugma just appeared.
I'm going to turn mine on, and we'll see what I get.
I'm going to catch this bitch. But, so we just went to a random park in Kalamazoo. I don't remember what it was called.
Okay, so we went to a park called Bronson Park in Kalamazoo. Now, when I was doing my clinicals in downtown Kalamazoo, my clinical site was, it's literally a 2-minute walk from where I did my clinical at. So I stopped there occasionally to play some Pokemon Go, to catch some Pokemon. And it is a phenomenal park. There are like 12 or 13 Pokestops in the immediate area.
It's phenomenal for Pokemon Go.
Yeah, right. I do a lap around this area. There's a couple of really big...
a Rhyhorn. Oh, he disappeared. What the fuck?
There are... Ooh, a horsey. There are a couple of big fountains in this park, and they actually do spawn water Pokemon because the fountains are big enough. So you get some good water Pokemon there. There's a ton of Pokestops, so you can, while you're catching Pokemon, you can also...
Oh, there's a Geodude, too. Oh, fuck.
Stock up on your Pokeballs and whatever. And, yeah, it's just a great park for playing Pokemon Go. When I went there during my clinical time, it was still late in the winter season, so it was pretty cold. You know what? Fuck you, horsey. Fucking just broke out of 5 Pokeballs. I don't even care. Oh my god, dude. Eat a dick.
Geodude just punched me. What a dick.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So, when I went there, it was pretty much just me and a few other random nerdos playing Pokemon Go. And I didn't stay out for very long because it was obviously pretty cold. But this is not the experience that Matt and I had on Monday.
It was there was just 1,000 hobos and crazy people everywhere. We were sitting down in the park. We popped some lures on some Pokestops, and we're just sitting there collecting the Pokemon bounty. And geez, how many people came up and talked to us? Just hobos asking for money.
People asking for money or cigarettes, or I have to imagine it was, and we were there for an hour, and I bet you 7 people came up to us.
And literally every single one of them was a homeless person asking for something. It was crazy.
And it was either because of drug use or a mental disability, but most of them had something wrong with them. And,
yeah, we could just totally hardly understand them.
So Matt and I didn't want to be, we're not assholes. We're assholes.
Despite what you might think.
But when it comes to people like that, it's like...
We're only assholes to our friends.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Fucking tell this poor homeless guy with a mental disability to fuck off? No. So these guys come up to us and they're talking to us, and we're just like, oh, that's cool. We're just kind of holding...
Trying to hold a
right. We're trying not to be dicks. Now, that being said, the first guy that approached us was a guy who definitely had a mental disability, but he was all decked out in Pokemon Go gear. He had on a Pokemon Go T-shirt.
Oh man, yeah, he was on my team too. Team Valor.
He was part of Matt's team, Team Valor.
He just walked. This guy wasn't homeless. He had a job. He was just there playing Pokemon like us.
And he said he had a wife as well. God only knows if this is true or not. But he just came up. He saw us with our phones out, looking down at him. Clearly, you could tell we were playing Pokemon Go, and he came up to us and he was like, "Hey, are you guys playing Pokemon?" And we were like,
Note that he came up and talked to us while we were clearly talking to another homeless man who was asking us for money. He just totally interrupted this guy and was like, "Hey, you guys playing Pokemon Go?"
He did too. The guy was asking us for bus fare so he could get to this job interview, which God only knows if that's true. But Matt gave him a quarter because that's all he had on him. And
I'm a charitable spirit.
And I gave him $0 because I had $1, but no. So
you stingy bitch.
Yeah, whatever, man. I've seen too many of it. Too much of that shit. I know what this guy's doing.
$1's not going to break you.
Yeah, I know, but fuck him.
Why? Why fuck him? You don't know him.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why. It seriously didn't cross my mind. Like, I put all the change I had.
Sure, whatever, man. You're just a dick. You're just a dickhole. That's all it is.
Into the parking meter for my truck to be parked there. And when he was like, "Yeah, I just need some change," I was like, "Man, I just put all my change in there." And then we get done talking to him, and other dude comes up to us, and I'm just like, "Fuck, I probably had $1 in my wallet I could have given that guy, but it was too late." But anyway, as we're talking to this gentleman, and he's asking us for change, this dude just marches up, and he's like, "Are you guys playing Pokemon Go?" And I'm not exaggerating. That's pretty much how he talked.
And me and Brody, we just looked at each other with this look like, "Oh no." We did not want to socialize. No, man, I'm there to hang out with my buddy Matt and catch some Pokemon, and that's it. Like, if I want to talk to someone, it's going to be Matt. I didn't come here to make friends. Social situations were thrust upon us, and we did not appreciate it.
We didn't like it at all. And
especially awkward ones.
But luckily this guy, he didn't carry on too long. He followed us. Like, we started walking
for a little bit, yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, blah, blah, blah." And Matt kept being like, "Oh, did you see that Pokemon over there? We should go over to that Pokemon."
We were like kind of half-ass having a conversation with him, but more like passively ignoring him, hoping he'd go away and still like carrying on our own thing.
Because like we said, we don't want to be dick to this guy. He's clearly has something wrong with him. He's probably not a bad guy. He's just looking for some friends, and we don't want friends. So eventually he was just like, "Okay, have a good day, guys." And we're like, "Yeah, you too, man. Have a good day. Good luck catching Pokemon." And that was that. So then we were like, "Well, let's just go over here and sit down. Let's sit in our own little corner and just catch some Pokemon and chit-chat." Little did we know, the area that we sat in was Crazy Hobo Station. and every homeless person that walked by us. Let me interject here for a second. The second we parked at this park, okay? Parked at the park. And literally, like, the second we got into the main square, someone yelled something. I can't remember what they yelled, but someone was just like, "Ah!" It was a homeless guy laying down on a bench, taking a nap, and he opened his eyes when we walked by, and apparently he saw someone he knew across the park. And so just as Matt and I get past him, we hear him go, "Ah, Matt!" And we both stopped like, "What the fuck?"
And right when that happened, I looked around me and realized where we were and who was around us, and I was like, "Oh man, this is going to be interesting."
Yeah, because we were surrounded by homeless people. So as we're sitting there talking amongst ourselves, just, like every 5 minutes, a different homeless person would come strolling into the park, because there's a mission right downtown, right there by the park. And so I'm pretty sure they all live there, and on nice days they come out to the park and hang out and smoke cigarettes and fall asleep on the benches. So they all come,
I love how
that's legitimately all they were doing, man.
Yeah, that's their whole life. So beg until you have money to get cigarettes, and then chill in the park and smoke cigarettes until you run out of cigarettes, and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah, that's your life. So So people like one by one just kept coming up to us and, asking what we were doing. Or one guy came up to us and Matt and I couldn't understand him totally. He definitely asked us for if we smoked, and we both said no. And
then Brody made a dumb joke about vaping for some reason. We couldn't understand him. This is how we talked. He walked up and was like, "Hey, you got a cigarette?"
It wasn't even no, dude. It wasn't even.
It wasn't even that. It was. We had to ask him to repeat himself, and then we understood.
The first couple lines out of his mouth, I don't even know what he was saying. I think he was trying to be friendly.
I think it was just a general greeting.
He was, yeah, right. He was like, "Hey, man, go boys," and we were just like, "Okay, man, right on." And he was like, "Yeah, over." And
dude, you should be a homeless person.
Okay, cool, dude, right on. And then he was like, "Hey, man, you over a cigarette?" And Matt and me both went no, and then I made some stupid joke about vaping, and he was, and then I'm pretty sure that he insulted us.
Yeah, we couldn't tell, but he mumbled at us in a aggressive manner. I thought it sounded like he might have said, "Well, then fuck you," and walked off.
Yeah, and then he turned around and walked off, and we were like, "All right, man, have a good day."
Because we didn't know. We were just like.
Plus, what am I gonna say? Fuck you too, homeless man.
But this is all kind of dancing around the true subject that I know that we both want to talk about.
Is this man going to be the pitcher for a podcast, please?
Well, I thought about it, but then I was like, I don't know, because we didn't get his permission.
Blur out his face.
And I understand. Look, I'm not going to edit a picture, man.
I'll do it, and I'll send it to you.
You won't do it.
I will. I'll do it right now.
That's a lie.
You're telling the story.
Whatever. If you do it, I'll do it. Whatever. But this amazing man, like 8 feet tall, with the deepest V-neck you've ever seen, wearing a cowboy hat. It's a pants, wearing his pants in like 80s style.
It's a
with like hiked up.
He's a black man.
He was like an old black man. Yeah,
He's
wearing
older.
a cowboy hat and a deep ass V with his gray chest hairs just on display.
Oh no!
I mean,
no,
his V-neck.
There's no chest. This man's chest.
There was some chest hair.
No, dude. This dude's. You can see.
Am I imagining
I'm looking
chest
at the picture
hair
right now? This guy's.
Picture.
Fuck you. This guy's chest is smoother than a baby's ass. There isn't a hair on it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And he's got on a denim fucking vest and a white deep V. It almost goes to his belly button.
It goes below his nipples.
Oh, for sure. It goes below his nipples. And like Matt said, he was like 6'8" and just had on the longest, skinniest jeans I've ever seen. And he's just strolling through the park.
So there was a woman in a wheelchair with a Bluetooth for some reason. Another bizarre character just hanging out in behind us. We were sitting on like stairs, and there was like a little stage behind us, and people were chilling out back there too. And he just walked up and like sat behind us on the steps, like behind us, and just started hitting on this lady. At least that's how I perceived it. Maybe he was just talking, but it seemed like he was hitting on her.
No, I thought that too. I thought for sure he was trying to get him a little.
But he's like talking to her, and she's not really talking back. So he's just like talking at her, and so she's not really saying anything. She may have said something to him, but he was like, "Oh yeah, I get it. You like being alone? I like being alone too. I belong in the woods." Or something like that. He said the words, "I belong in the woods."
Yeah, he belonged in the woods, man.
And then he just went on talking about the woods for a while and how he belonged in them. He's a woodsman.
Yeah.
And at one point he just yelled, "Gah!"
Yeah. I forgot about that. So Matt and I are definitely eavesdropping on this old man and just like crazy shit because he's on the phone.
I couldn't type fast enough, man. He said so much crazy shit.
He was talking on the phone to his son, and apparently his son was coming to meet him at the park. Well, at least he kept calling him son. And at one point, so his son shows up.
What did he say to to greet his son?
Yeah, he said
he was like, hey, how you doing? His son was like, hey, how you doing? He's like, hey, well, you know, tall and blah, blah. He said,
yeah, he was like, tall and strong. And he was just like, yeah, tall and strong. And like, they're like, it's a greeting that they say to each other. So as they're sitting there talking to each other.
Because when he said it, he laughed like it was the funniest thing he'd ever said.
Right. He
just said, tall and strong.
Tall and strong.
This guy is also, he's obnoxiously loud. He's not being silent. The whole park could hear him.
Right. We weren't like creeping up on him. We were a good ways away and we could hear every word coming out of his mouth. And it
happened right in front of us like it was a display, like a performance just for us.
And
that's how it felt.
And every time he opened his mouth, my ears just perked up and I just picked up everything he said. So at one point, they were sitting there talking and I couldn't make out what they were talking about because it was the son talking and the son talked at a normal level.
Yeah, the son appeared to be a totally normal man.
But then the old man chimed in with, she might have ran him over. It was on accident, but she ran him over. Those were the words that came out of his mouth. And then... and then as they're walking away, I hear him say to his son, because they walked away together, but I think he was on the phone. I don't know.
He was on his phone. He had it charged. He had it plugged into one of the wall chargers behind him, and he forgot his charger.
He said, all right, stay young. Don't get old.
Well, that's because I think this was the chain of events. He and his son walked away, and then I believe that's when the gah happened, and then he walked back and said and because he forgot his charger and he was trying to like cover his tracks, being like, hey, stay young, don't get old like me. I forgot my charger, like that.
No, this is the words that came out of his mouth. He said, stay young. Don't get old. Sleep on the couch. What? What?
I want so badly to have a conversation with this guy.
Sleep on the couch? What does that mean? The first half of it makes total sense. Don't get old. He's like, yeah, stay young, man. Don't get old like me. You forget shit. He just said, sleep on the couch. That's what he said.
Look, me and Brody aren't doing this justice because this was absolutely the craziest thing I'd ever seen with my own two eyes.
It was a good time playing Pokemon Go down at the park.
It was a great time.
I also just want to throw in there, as Matt and I do, because we're millennial hipsters. When we started hearing all the crazy shit coming out of his mouth,
how dare you? I can deal with millennial, but not hipster.
We both got our cell phones out and opened up the Notepad app and started immediately typing down every word this man was saying or everything we could hear.
Trying to.
Right. And I have a little notepad in my notes already that are just for podcast ideas. So when I'm sitting there, thumbing my fucking shitter,
what?
That's what I do in my spare time.
What does that mean?
When I have my thumb in my ass, if I think of something funny or I think is funny for the podcast, I have a thing that just says podcast ideas, and so I open that up and I jot down my ideas into that for stuff we can talk about. When this guy starts rambling on, I open that up to put down all the crazy things that he's saying into this thread, and the only thing that's in my thread, it just says old lady poops, and I don't know what that means. Speaking of
great notes, dude.
Speaking of not getting old, I don't know why I put that in my notes. It just says old lady poops, and I don't know why. A, I don't know why I would put that in there, and B, I have no idea what that is referring to.
Do you take old lady poops?
No, I definitely don't take not unless old ladies poop like fucking rhinoceroses on the wild, because that's what I shit like.
Did you see that video of that rhino that pooped?
I don't think so.
He helicoptered around with his tail and sprayed the crowd with it.
Oh no, dude, that's a hippo.
Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah, you're right. That is a hippo.
And there's a reason for it. I can't remember. They call it like mucking.
It's hilarious.
Muck spray or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know why I have old lady poops in here. But I have two other things in my podcast thing now. I'm just going to delete old lady poops.
Yeah.
So is that all you wanted to talk about with the Pokemon Go and the...
Yeah, I
Or did
feel
you
like
have
we
anything
started the
else on
video
that?
game. Well, we started the video game segment and then just ranted about Pokemon for literally a half hour.
Yeah, true.
This podcast is almost an hour long now, and we haven't even talked about video games really.
Well, let's go quick fire mode.
Quick fire mode.
I'm going to go through a couple of things here. Actually, the only thing that I have to talk about on video games, I watched the Destiny 2 gameplay. It came out yesterday. They
Yeah, I
had
watched
like
that
an
too.
hour and a half of gameplay for Destiny 2. Did you see the announcement they made at the end?
No.
So
I
Destiny
mean,
2,
maybe I did, but
Destiny 2 is definitely coming out on PC. Everyone knows that.
yeah.
But it's going to be run exclusively on Blizzard's.
Oh, that's not an announcement. They were just like, I was going to mention that as something that's weird, but it's not like when they said it's going to run on Battlenet. It's not like I was like, ah!
Well, no, I think that's phenomenal because when I played, Bungie obviously makes Destiny, and when I played Halo,
Obviously.
and even Destiny's online capability type things, it wasn't terrific. It's not terrible. I've definitely played worse, but the fact that they're going to use Blizzard and Battlenet, I think, is a phenomenal idea because they can basically have just something set for just Destiny, and I think it's going to work a lot better for PC because I've played a lot of shitty ports on PC.
It would work on any of the. It would work on Steam fine. It would work on Battlenet fine. It'd work on Origin fine. I don't care what platform they put it on. It surprised me that they put it on Battlenet. Wasn't expecting that. Honestly, I was expecting it on Steam. Or to me, if you asked me, I would say either Steam or they'd make their own launcher. I would never in a million years have said Battlenet.
This is true. I thought for sure they were going to go with their own launcher.
But yeah, anyways, I'd like to talk about that. What did you think? I was honestly kind of underwhelmed. I mean, it just looks like Destiny.
I was 100% underwhelmed. And I was afraid that this might happen, and it's super early still.
I'm still super duper looking forward to it. I'm just saying that I was.
But
I guess I hoped
as
for
someone
more.
now, you never.
My hopes were too high.
You didn't play Destiny, did you?
I played like maybe an hour of Destiny at a buddy's house.
I played a shitload of Destiny, and yeah, it was legit. Like you said, I was just super underwhelmed. It was same old. Like it looked like Destiny 1,
which is fine for me because I never played the first one. So
yeah, but I don't know, man. It just and the game's gonna be fun. I know it's gonna be fun. It's gonna look good. I just don't know what they're gonna do. I'm sure they're gonna add new, not races, but maybe races. Shit, who knows?
I hope so.
But different,
the
like
races were kind of shitty. It was just robot, human, blue guy.
right, and I'm sure they're gonna add different classes because there were only 3.
I don't know. They didn't really make any. Didn't really make it seem that way.
Well, not yet. Like I said, it's still super early. Well, I guess not. It comes out in September, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm with you 100% on that.
I feel like they would have made a bigger deal because they made a big deal about the new powers. I feel like they would have made a bigger deal if they would, even if they didn't announce it, they would have said, and we have a new mystery class that we're not going to announce right now.
Right, yeah. Also, listening to these developers is so cringy.
I know, dude, right? I'm really starting to hate, like,
I'm really
game
starting to
conferences.
hate it because I feel like they're they're pandering to us, and they're the baby Groots, and they're pandering to us, and they're talking to me like I'm a goddamn idiot. They're like, "You're gonna love the experience you get when you play this new class level."
To me, it's just like they're blowing rainbows at my ass.
That's
like we both
exactly
know,
what they're
everyone knows. It's just going to be a MMO first-person shooter like the first Destiny, and there'll be some new stuff. They're trying to portray it as if it's like the next evolution. You know, that's how every game does
it's
it.
The greatest,
they're like,
it's going to be the greatest game since fucking
right
since whatever the last greatest game was.
since their last game.
But it's not. It's legitimately to what I saw in with all the Destiny that I played. It legitimately looked like Destiny 1.5.
Yeah, but all that said, I'm still really looking forward to it because it's Destiny on PC, which means 60 hertz, 4K, PC Master Race all the way.
I do love that they were just like, it's gonna run like Destiny 2 is gonna be 60 hertz. I was like, well, no shit. It better be.
Why don't you tell me what 60 hertz means?
It's fast.
So you don't know. I love how you're sitting here talking like, yeah, 60 hertz, right? Duh. You don't even know.
Everything's 60 hertz, man.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Your monitor's not 60 hertz. Your own monitor.
My monitor is 160 hertz.
It's 120 hertz, you idiot.
Yeah, that's right.
How do I know the refresh rate of your monitor and you don't?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's refresh rate.
Oh, there's not even a monitor that exists that it's 160 hertz.
Yeah, mine.
No.
No.
You're just objectively wrong.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. I just put you on blast, dude.
I got fooled.
You lost so much respect
From who?
to our fellow PC Master Racers out there.
Oh, that's Derek, so no one cares.
Let me school you. He's not a PC Master Race. Fuck him. So let me school you. All right.
I'm ready.
You know what a frame rate is, right?
Yeah.
60 frames per second.
I know what
right?
FPS is at least.
You get that.
Yep.
Well, I'm actually myself a little bit fuzzy on what hertz exactly is, but I can tell you that refresh rate is like it's not the same as frames per second. Like the refresh rate, I'll give you an example. Even though I upgraded to a 4K monitor, the refresh rate downgraded. My 1080p monitor was 144 hertz, which meant that I could get up to 144 frames per second before I started seeing screen tearing in games and stuff. Now that I've gone back to 60 hertz, basically that means if I can get a game to run above 60 frames per second, it doesn't really matter in the game feel. At least that's what I think. Because there are some games that I play that run like 200 frames a second. And it feels way more responsive. But it feels faster than 60 hertz, but I'm thinking like it can't be because my monitor is 60 hertz. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. That was a weird little tangent. That was not related to what we were talking about.
Whatever, I still learned something.
No, you didn't. You're going to forget tomorrow.
For sure, I did have no idea what hertz was.
So, I guess I was just being a stickler because you were like, it's going to run at 60 hertz. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you have a 60 hertz monitor, it'll run at 60 hertz.
Fucking asshole.
If you have a 144 hertz monitor, it'll run at 144 hertz. But anyways, I guess that's enough of Destiny. I want to talk about a game that I think may have flown under your radar, which is a huge shame because I think you'd totally love it.
Oh, shit.
Because you like Dark Souls. And this is basically Dark Souls, but in the future.
What?
Yep, it's called The Surge, and I've played a little bit of it, but since it's not my Quest game, obviously I haven't played that much. But it's Dark Souls in the future. You have an exosuit, and you get upgrades for your exosuit, and you have, swords and big future swords. And it's really fucking good, and I think you would love it. I know that it's not your preferred setting, but I think it's amazing. That I'm thoroughly enjoying my time.
So I typed The Surge into Google, and the first thing that came up was something about it's a religion called
what?
Surge. At Surge, we see God weaving together ragged parts of our lives in His godness. All right.
In His godness, dude. We gotta delve into this, dude.
Okay, so it says Surge.
Fuck the Surge. Let's talk about the Surge.
Grace the fray.
Okay, I googled the Surge, and all that came up was video game things. So you must have misspelled something.
Oh, I for sure misspelled Surge.
How did you spell it?
How do you spell Surge? S-E-R-G?
What? No, S-U-R-G-E.
Okay, I spelled it S-E... I spelled it... I spelled it S-E-R-G-E.
The Surge. S-E-R-G.
Yeah, man. That's sick.
Grace at the fray.
There it is. You found it.
Here's a man drinking some water. Do they have a mission statement? Yes, they do. Surge Mission unites believers with opportunities to live out and share the gospel around the world. This happens through a wide range of types of work. It is at the insertion of capability and calling that we see the gospel transform our weaknesses and the world's brokenness.
So deep.
Is this just a weird like subsect of Christianity?
I
It
think
says
so.
calling is an area of Christian life that can be confusing, often discerned alone, but doesn't have to be. Surge staff desire to walk alongside you as you consider how God is at work in your life. I feel like there's not going to be any super obvious like this is why we're weird. Maybe this might just be like a missionary thing.
This is why we're weird. Yeah, that's what I kind of gathered from it, as some kind of a missionary thing.
All right, well, that was a dead end.
Yeah.
Let's continue talking about the Surge.
It's still funny that I don't know how to fucking spell.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So, I have only played this game enough to get to the first boss, which is totally annihilating me, and I haven't played it since the boss totally annihilated me. I've been sticking to my quest game since then. But yeah, it's a really good time, man. You play as a man in a wheelchair, and the way that they reveal it to you is pretty cool.
Well, thanks for ruining it for me.
And it literally happens in the first 5 seconds of the game, so fuck you.
It looks like he's wearing one of those suits that Matt Damon wore. What was that movie that he was just in not too long ago?
Matt Damon?
Yeah.
You mean Tom Cruise?
No, dude. Oh, that too. He was kind of like in that. It's more. I guess it's more like that movie than the movie I'm thinking of.
It's just like an exosuit. And, yeah, I mean, I guess there's actually, if it's Dark Souls. It's a little bit different. For example, when you die and lose your scrap, which is the equivalent of souls in this game.
Okay.
You have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to reacquire them.
Oh,
or they
shit.
are gone forever. Gone forever. But yeah, it's really fun. I like it. You should play it, Brody. I think you'd like it too, since you love Souls games.
It's true.
And it also has really good reviews on Steam, last I checked. Let me
I think it's still at like
check again.
3.5 or 4
What?
stars.
Steam doesn't review things in stars.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I just looked
The
at
reviews
it right
The
here.
reviews are mostly positive.
The Surge on Steam, 3.5 stars.
What are you talking about?
I'm looking at it right now.
On Steam?
On the link that you click to go to Steam. Type in the Surge into Google.
I did. I see the stars, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's related to Steam.
Well, that's what their rating is.
Not Steam's rating.
Steam's rating is mostly positive.
Yeah, that's what I said. So you're wrong and I'm right.
And it also says 7 out of 10.
Where does it say that?
Same place. Right next to the 3.5 stars.
You're so dumb, dude.
What I'm
Why are
getting
you so
what
dumb?
I'm getting out of this is a mediocre game.
Well, I disagree. And the reviews, PC Games gives it an 8 out of 10, and Polygon also gives it an 8 out of 10.
Steam 7 out of 10, IGN 7.9 out of 10, GameSpot 7 out of 10. I mean, it still sounds like it'd be fun, and I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Do you remember Lords of the Fallen?
Yeah.
This game was created by those developers.
Oh, okay.
And it's, from what I can tell, because I've also played Lords of the Fallen, it is better, definitely better than Lords of the Fallen.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so that's cool.
I really like the way the combat feels, too. I'm using like a cool chain sword. Or I guess it's just like a big serrated blade. And the way that you wield it and the attack animations are awesome. I just love it. But you've always known that I usually go for a future aesthetic before I go for like a fantasy aesthetic.
True, and I do not.
And you are the opposite.
But if it's like a Souls game, I'm willing to give it a chance.
I think you'd like it. You're more than welcome to come over and play it before you commit.
I might have to do that because it is still 50 doll hairs.
I got 25% off.
I mean, the minute that...
Oh, no, wait, no, I didn't.
The minute that my that my loan comes through for school, I'm definitely buying it.
Because that's what the school loans are for.
Duh!
So let's see. I played The Surge. I played a little bit of the Quake Champions closed beta today.
How was that? Quakey?
Pretty much what you'd expect. Yep, it was Quake. I only had the opportunity to play as one of the champions because for some reason I only have one unlocked. We already talked about the fact that this is going to be a free-to-play game, but also you can pay $50 and just get all the champions permanently and basically just buy the game.
Right.
Which
I think that's a great idea.
It's a fantastic idea.
You don't have money? That's fine. Still play our game. You do have money. Here's a little incentive.
Or you don't have money, but you want this game. Well, you can still play it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
and when you do have money, then you can buy it, and then you don't have to worry about
if you like it.
Yeah. It's just a wonderful idea to me. But I don't know. I think that Quake would be an amazing esport to watch. I feel like Quake is one of those games that's more fun to watch than play. Unless you're like amazing at it,
right?
Then of course it's
fun to play.
And I did have fun playing it. It's a good time, but I was getting my ass handed to me, so and I wanted to watch The Desolation of Smaug, so I stopped and watched that. But I'll probably put some more time into it just to get a better feel. And I think it's fun. It's very 90s-y, and it, like I said, it's Quake, but with the whole champion spin. And what I mean when I say that is there's a bunch of different champion characters who have different like base stats, and they all have little special abilities. Kind of like Overwatch, but not.
Not the Overwatch is.
The abilities don't have a huge impact on the effectiveness of your character. Skill is still at the forefront.
Right.
It's just some characters start with 75 HP but really high running speed. Some characters start with high speed but with a really low running speed. Some characters can like ski to an infinite speed multiplier. You know, it's basically just like a characters have different base stats.
Right.
But they're not a huge difference, I guess. But yeah, if you like 90s style arena shooters, you should give it a shot if you can get in the closed beta, which if I can, so can you.
You know why? Because Matt's just some guy.
I'm just some guy, everybody. I'm just some guy.
That's all he is.
Let's see, what else did I
For
play?
me, because it's not just the Matt hour.
Well, I thought you already talked about the only game that you played.
Yeah, I know I said that, but I lied.
Well, then, so I'm not in the wrong, so fuck off.
Now, it's something that you said you might want to do with me, and we still have an opportunity. It's not too late. But
It's too late to do something with Brody. No, it's not.
It's closing in on the too late time. But I completed the Nexus 2.0 challenge for Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm, and got my 10 loot boxes in both games. And
how long did it take you collectively to complete it? Is it something like we could sit down and knock out in a day?
Yes. Yes. It depends,
Okay.
man. It's like some games go by really quick, and sometimes in a lot of the, not a lot of the time, but sometimes it would just be people showed up in the game and then wouldn't play, and they're just doing it because you don't have to win. You just have to play 5 games a
Oh,
week.
that's cancer.
Yeah. So we'd get into some games where we'd have some fun, very fun, competitive games with other teams, and it
We'd have some very fun.
very fun. And then there would be other times where it would just, like you said, it'd just be cancer. 2 of our teammates or 2 of the other team's teammates wouldn't even be playing. They're just there to get their checkoffs, and we'd blow through them, and that's that. So, or they'd blow through us, and we'd move on to the next game. So it could take
Would they?
legitimate,
blow?
25 minutes, or it could take 5 minutes. It just depended on how much cancer you decided to get during this game. But I completed all 4 and it took the 4 weeks to do it. Just one day every week. I did it with another guy. I'm just doing it with guys. And
You cheater. You're cheating on me.
and yeah, I also found that also if you wanted just the Diva skin, which I think that's what you basically want it for,
Yeah.
we would only have to do the first 2 weeks, so we could definitely get through that easy enough.
Oh, well, then heck, yeah, let's do it.
I think.
Let's do it.
So, okay. I found that a lot of the skins that they have, because in Heroes of the Storm they have Overwatch characters, and they just added Diva. They have Genji, Tracer, Zarya, and Lucio. And they have some skins in that game. I wish I got a skin for Genji in Heroes of the Storm, and it's cooler than any of the skins in Overwatch for him. And I was like, why isn't this an available skin in Overwatch? Because it looks fucking awesome. But what are you gonna do? I didn't make the game.
Well, you never play Genji anyways. So.
That's true. I never do. I'm so bad with him. But yeah, I finished that. That was fun. Got my 10 chests. Didn't get anything great out of them. The only thing I'm looking for in my loot boxes right now for Overwatch is the Happy Squid. Still haven't found him.
I'm happy with whatever my emblem is right now. I can't remember, but I remember that I'm happy with it. It's like a leak. It's like a leak.
Yeah, you got a little. I think you've got like something similar to mine. It's a little like turnip or something with a smiley face on it, or it's an angry.
It's cute.
Turnip, I don't know. But I've got a few of those, but I really want that Happy Squid.
It's a whatever. It's an angry turnip. What a weird sentence.
And then, yeah, that's it. That's all I did.
So, as far as games I've played this week, I guess that's it. But I do want to talk about one more game that I'm kind of a little hyped over that I haven't bought yet because it's early access and I've got so many games. But I will definitely end up picking up eventually at some point in the future. It's called Dead Cells. And it kind of just came out of nowhere on Steam. And it's got about 2,500 reviews on Steam. And the overall user reviews is overwhelmingly positive.
Okay.
And it is
So like a 9 out of 10.
It is a Roguevania, which is stupid merging of the phrases roguelike and Metroidvania. Are you familiar with those terms?
Yeah. I remember reading something about this game. So it's like, I hope you like backtracking.
And also roguelites,
Right.
And dying a lot.
Yep.
And Souls-like combat. And nonlinear progression. I'm just reading the list of features about this game. But I've watched videos and heard people talk about it, and it sounds amazing, and I would love to play it at some point.
Oh, dude, you know what? You know what we haven't talked about at all? And I think I sent it to you. We could have talked about it on the last podcast, too. I sent you a link that this was like 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to find it in our discussion thread. About...
Well, then find it.
Retro Studios are working on a new Metroid game for the Switch. You've been begging for a new Metroid game.
Did you send me that?
Yeah. Are you looking on?
No,
Are you looking on Discord?
No.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
It's in our chat thread.
no.
It's just above the Bill Cosby and
I
the
know,
Bills.
but it's not on my phone. It's not on my computer.
It's above the Bill Cosby fucking picture you sent me.
Did you get the Kermit thing I sent you?
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay, Metroid game teased for the Nintendo Switch, GameRant.com. For a decade now, fans have been clamoring for a new, proper Metroid game. Either in the form of Metroid Prime, or a throwback to the franchise's 2D side-scrolling roots, as opposed to the poorly received spin-offs that Nintendo has released in recent years, poorly received for a good reason. Some were hoping to see a new Metroid revealed during the Nintendo Switch January 12th presentation, but after the event came and went with no sign of Samus Aran, fans were left disappointed. However, if recent comments by Nintendo of America's president Reggie Fils-Aimé, I've never seen his last name written before, it's crazy, are any indication, there may still be hope to see Metroid come to the Switch. Here's a quote by Reggie. But we are aware that there are some key IP that consumers just can't wait for the next true installment in the franchise legacy. Suffice it to say, we're aware of it, and talk to me in a year, and let's look back and see what's happened. That is super vague.
Really vague.
I suppose it gives me hope.
It's better than hearing nothing.
Yeah, it's a little hint, and I'm sure that Nintendo is aware of how much people want a new Metroid. So it'd be dumb of them not to give us that, even though that's been what they've been doing so far, and Nintendo's been known to be dumb. But whatever. But whatever, yo. Whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, that's fun. That's nice. I hope that happens. I feel like I had another thing that I wanted to talk about for this podcast, and I can't remember. So let's just scour the net for some last thing. There's a boxing match live on Facebook right now that I'm glancing at. There are two men punching each other because that's boxing.
Wow.
Did you hear that the vault in the Arctic flooded because of stuff melting?
What did? Oh, that
vault
plant vault or whatever?
I don't know. It's a global seed vault.
Yeah.
Buried in a mountain deep inside the Arctic Circle. Has been breached after global warming produced extraordinary temperatures over the winter, sending meltwater gushing into the entrance tunnel. So that sucks. But I don't understand how they wouldn't have seen that as a possibility and made it waterproof. It's not a very good vault if it's not waterproof.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny because
hey everybody, let's build a vault in an area of the world where if global warming does destroy the Earth, we'll be totally underwater.
This was put together by the quote unquote smartest of the smart people on Earth, because when the Earth inevitably runs out of food, these people will say, hey, look it, we have been down here.
How much food do we have left?
0. It's almost gone.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Can't we just grow some more?
Not unless we have this vault.
What do we need the vault for? We have seeds outside the vault.
No, man, by then it's going to be all radioactivity and fucking, global warming. You won't be able to grow anything outside because it's just going to be like a fucking sauna outside.
I like the idea of you playing this character that's like
trying to talk
super left, and I'm just coming at you with logical questions and hearing you answer that. That's a good thing. Let's do that
with bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So why
you won't be able to, when global warming eventually takes out the ozone layer and the Earth's rays just destroy everything on the planet, and we have to live inside. We're gonna need this vault to to sustain not only our lives but our food supply.
But if the vault's on Earth, though.
Yeah, but it's totally protected. I mean, nothing you get in. Not water, not like sunlight, not heat. It's going to be totally
water
protected.
Did get in.
What?
Water did get in.
Oh.
It flooded. Because global warming. That's the thing you were afraid of, right?
Well, yeah, but...
So it's in the Arctic. That's where ice is. And if the globe was warming, wouldn't that mean the ice would melt?
Well, see, what Trump did was...
So isn't that kind of... Well, that contradicts your own opinion, though.
See, Trump probably sent Russian subs over there,
and they
shot
squirted hoses in
there. They shot it with rockets underneath the ice.
Water rockets.
Yeah, no, torpedoes. And,
Oh, okay. They used the rockets to melt the ice.
Well, duh. But yeah, that's, just... I don't know, man.
Where do you land on that whole thing? Do you think that like humanity is the sole reason that the globe is warming, or do you think that the globe would be warming despite humanity?
No, man, it's not. I mean, I think that we definitely have a hand in it, but I don't think that is solely on...
Do you think that if the entire human race went green and totally green energy, that we would save the planet?
No.
Or do you think we'd just be prolonging the inevitable?
No, I think it would. I do think it would last longer, but I don't think it would. I don't think that the Earth's going to end in the next 100 years because of humans. But I also don't. Does
anyone think that?
Yeah, I'm sure there are people out there that think that. There's people out there that think the Earth is flat.
I mean, because of global warming, do people think that the Earth will end in the next 100 years because of global warming?
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess. There's so many people in the world, there's bound to be someone who believes that.
I saw a fucking thing. Sorry, this is a little sidetracked, but I saw a thing yesterday, because yesterday was my birthday. Ooh, yeah. I'm fucking 28.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
There's someone sent me a picture.
48.
Fuck you, man. Of a bag that said... Congratulations, or it said 19 million other people have the same birthday as you today. Congratulations.
I told my mom once, sorry mom, I told my mom that I didn't think birthdays were a big deal. To me, I was like, my birthday was coming up, and her birthday is 4 days before mine. So I guess it was kind of bad timing on my part. But I was like, yeah, I don't think birthdays are a big deal. It's just like, woo, I didn't die another year.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. I feel like,
but on one hand, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to be less cynical, because that's just so depressing, man. Why can't I just celebrate a thing? You know,
there's like, you know what? I'm with you. There should definitely be things that you celebrate, but I don't think birthdays is one of them, really.
Well, so what else do I celebrate? I don't celebrate anything else. Fuck it. I might as well go out and have a good time on my birthday, you know? Even
I guess that's true.
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter.
You made it.
But in my small, meaningless life, it matters.
You made it. You made it another trip around the sun.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, like you said, as I get older, my birthday means less and less, and like New Year's seems to just I have zero time for New Year's.
Oh, New Year's has never been a thing for me. I don't give a shit about
New Year's used to be a fucking bomb-ass time for me.
Bomb-ass?
Bomb-ass. Just going out, partying for the new year. Woo, we made it another year. I don't fucking care. It's going to be just as shitty as the next year. The
only, like, childhood memory I have associated with in the new year, like, in a positive way, is that I would always really look forward to having sparkling juice. I love that stuff, and that was my.
Of course, that's the sparkling fucking juice.
It's so good. And then when I became an adult, I just bought it because I have money.
That's the worst part about becoming an adult, man. It takes the fun out of everything.
I don't know, man. I still have a pretty good time, and I kind of want to go get some now.
Well, that's why I quit drinking, basically. I used to get shit canned when I was 17, 18, 19 years old. I used to get fucking bombed every weekend. And then it became legal for me to do it, and I got bombed for like a year and a half legally and was like, this is gay. And I just quit.
Well, to me, drinking was always just a social thing. It's you know, you have fun when you're a little drunk with your buddies. And I still do it when I'm with people, but I'm so antisocial that there's just no point to me, you know. There's just no point.
You're not antisocial.
I am.
We're like really good friends, and I talk to you at least once a week.
Whatever, man. I sent you so many texts this week, and you just fucking ignored me.
Listen, dude.
You dickbag.
I've been working in Marshall,
Let's
which is
look
like an hour
at all
away.
the text I sent you. I sent you a funny 911 call. Let's listen to this. This is funny. It's coming. It's coming,
Any more
everyone.
than that, what is the skin tone? Yeah, you know, it looks pretty toned. He probably uses some astringent of some kind. You know, tone, color, skin color. What's his race? Whoa, that's a weird term. I just need you to describe the suspect. Well, his skin color, if you have to ask, apparently we live in a world where we have to ask about that. Oh, you see everything through the prism of skin color. It's a dark white. I don't even know what that means, sir. Dark white skin. What? Take the shade of white, darken it. Good few shades. Okay, sir, I'm not sure that I follow. Black, okay? The suspect is black. Is that what you wanted to hear? He's black. Okay, please note that the caller did not use the proper term with person of color. Oh, piss off! Any more than that, what is the skin tone?
See, you missed out on some good laughs by just totally ignoring that.
But, I mean...
I sent you a wizard cat that wished you luck on your exams.
You did. But you sent that to me a week after
Way
all
after
my
your
exams were
exams.
done. I've been done
I realized,
for a very long time.
I realized that when I sent that it might no longer be relevant, but I was like, fuck it.
Like, if this, it says it's a cat with a hat on, a wizard hat. Actually, it's not a wizard
Actually,
hat.
it's like a party hat.
And he's got a wand, and there's streamers and stars and shit coming out of the wand, and it says, whoosh, you will pass your exams. And what it should say is, whoosh, you passed your exams. Because that's when Matt sent it to me.
Whatever, man. I just thought it was funny. Fuck you.
It was funny. I did
It's
get a kick
a
out of
fat
it.
kitty cat.
But this week was just rough for me, man. After you and I did the whole Pokemon thing that Tuesday, or the next day, I just laid around, and then I went back to my clinicals, which are now an hour away from my house instead of 10 minutes. And yeah, and they're at different times too in the morning, and it just kind of threw my shit off. And I kind of didn't sleep well because I was kind of nervous about starting at this new area and all kinds of shit, and I just slept like garbage. So I was pretty much just going to that and sleeping.
Yeah, I have the possibility of a new job in the works, and although I am very, very excited at the prospect of having a new job, I am also extremely nervous because I hate like the first like week, or like especially the first day. But I just hate like the whole like, oh, I'm new here and I don't know anything. I hate that.
Right.
I hate it so much.
There's a good chance you're not going to be at your possible new job, and you're just going to go, fuck me in my pussy, and someone's going to catch on to that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that was a one in a million thing that happened with us.
I just want to get fucked.
Oh my god, I want to get
And I went, oh my god, I know that.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking for some news, some funny news here. Cause let's look up like a legit like flat Earth theory. Like let's keep going with this whole flat Earth thing. I want to hear some proof. Let me see some proof here. Okay. How flat earthers prove that the sun is closer than the clouds?
What? What does that?
Oh man, it's a video.
What does that mean?
Flat Earth, clouds behind my local sun. We've seen planes flying higher than the sun.
What?
What? Here's a good example. I witnessed the most... Oh my gosh. This is just a really long article with the links to a bunch of videos that I don't want to play. But it looks like it's just a bunch of different videos of people saying that this is like, here's more evidence that the sun is below the clouds. Which is totally insane. I'm just going to start reading the article and see what happens. It is on a website called Inverse Science, and this article was written by Jacqueline Ronson. The internet is a strange place, with few corners stranger than the one where people legitimately believe that the Earth is flat, and that the vast majority of humans have been trapped by an enormous conspiracy to keep us from the truth. From this perspective, the world is flat because it appears to be so. There are no pictures at the edge of the flat Earth because it is encircled by the great icy mass of Antarctica, which is guarded by NASA. Didn't know that.
No,
those photos,
armed NASA guards.
Those photos of the Earth from space. I didn't know about the whole great icy mass of Antarctica being a wall. Those photos of Earth from space are doctored and released by NASA in a grand conspiracy to keep the planet's most basic secret. Flat earthers are victims of a very powerful confirmation bias, which allows them to mentally discard data. That's what I was thinking of earlier. Allows them to mentally discard data that doesn't fit a pre-existing worldview. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank you for being smarter than us.
But being stuck in a certain way of thinking is quite different from not thinking at all. And flat earthers do a great deal of mental gymnastics to prop up their untenable theory. They are constantly searching for new evidence, something to point to and say, see, I was right. They're wrong, but they're not crazy. What? Lately, the flat earthers have latched onto a particular idea that is gaining traction in the community. You've been lied to about the position of the sun in the sky. It cannot be 93 million miles away, for it is no higher than the clouds. I have proof. Let's review the evidence. I'm just going to play the video. I have the volume off, so I'm just going to try to describe to you what's happening. It is very long. It is literally just a video of the sun and the clouds. And even in this video, I can clearly see that the sun is behind the clouds. It's so clear. And now there's a negative version. And it's still very clear that the sun is behind the clouds. Just now the sun is black and everything else is white. So I'm going to continue. Take a video of a sunset on a particularly cloudy day and you just might glimpse this phenomenon. There are clearly some clouds in front of the sun, darkening parts of its surface, but there are also fainter clouds that seem farther away. They pop out on either side of the sun as if they were running along behind it. I don't even see that. What are they talking about? Oh, okay, I see it. That's so stupid. As if they were running along behind it. It's not hard for a round earther to understand the optical illusion here. The camera sensor is not subtle enough to see a faint cloud in front of a very bright sun. But if your worldview imagines the sun as a sort of spotlight tracing circles around a flat plane, it's easier to trust that it's big science and not your eyes that fool you. Pilots above the clouds are higher than the sun. Here's another head scratcher. Pilots capture video of themselves flying above a sea of clouds with sunlight streaming up from below. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, they're right, dude.
That proves that the Earth is round.
No, dude, that just means that the sun is under the clouds.
Oh my god, dude. Of course, pilots can fly above the sun in a globe Earth model too. They are not farther from the Earth than the sun, but above it in terms of their relative position. If you imagine that planes flying directly on top of a spherical world, the sun setting over the horizon, of course, the sun is lower than the pilots, and the clouds below them. The bright colors below this plane are not an indication of how close the sun is, but how powerful its rays are, and how good a job clouds do at reflecting and scattering the light. Basically, what's happening here is the sun is setting on the horizon, and the pilots are above the clouds. And since the sun is setting on the horizon and the Earth is a globe, the sun, like it
appears to be lower than the clouds and the airplane.
Yeah, if you imagine like a circle and you place the sun at like an edge of at like a side of the circle, right? And then you put like a plane like on another side of the circle and like fly it towards the sun. Imagine that there were clouds there. At some point, the clouds would be between the plane and the sun.
Right. And it would appear...
I tried to explain that.
And it would appear that the sun is above the clouds and that the airplane itself is above the sun.
No, that the sun is below the clouds.
Right, yeah. The clouds are above the sun, and so is the airplane. And that's stupid, and people are dumb.
But it's just... That's what she's saying, though. They're confirmation bias. They aren't thinking of it through the lens that the Earth is a globe. They're thinking of it through the lens that the Earth is flat.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So to them, this is like, duh, of course it's flat. Of course, planets, blah, 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 blah. The bright clouds below the plane are not an indication of how blah, 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 blah. Planes can fly clean through the sun.
Oh, really?
Here's a good example of how new evidence has flat earthers digging in their heels on their perceptions of the world when they should instead be starting to ask if camera lenses and eyes can sometimes play tricks on you. Last year, a YouTuber named Shazwar Al-Bukhti captured what he said appeared to show a plane flying right through the sun. Oh my god. Entering one side and popping out the other in a burst of solar spray. It's a trick of the light, like the clouds that appear to be behind the sun, and yet it attracted over 1 million views and a great deal of discussion. Looks fake, but my mind is open for the real thing, writes one commenter. Just try to tell a flat earther that they are closed-minded. It is you who is not open-minded, they will argue.
Well, duh.
And don't bother bringing up ships coming over the horizon, time zones, and the shadow of the Earth on the moon. Your eyes are tricking you, they'll say, without a hint of intended irony. It's just, people are crazy. People are insane, everybody. Welcome to the Stupid Flat Earth podcast. What does Neil deGrasse Tyson have to say about Flat Earth?
I don't want to sound... If you believe that the Earth is flat, I hope you get killed in a car accident.
What?
Was that too harsh?
Sorry. I was reading a Neil deGrasse Tyson tweet. What did you say?
I said, if you believe that the Earth is flat, then I hope you die in a car accident.
You say that about nearly every podcast, so I really feel like it's starting to lose its meaning, so that's fine.
How about if I just hope you die?
You got to mix it up, man. No, you say that every podcast, too.
I hope your kids get cancer.
That's different.
I'm just kidding. Jesus Christ, I don't hope anyone's kids get cancer. I don't care how dumb you are.
Here, Neil deGrasse Tyson says, in a free country, it doesn't matter if you think the world is flat, provided you don't ascend to become the head of NASA.
Damn it, he's the best.
He also says, you can say the Earth is flat because we have free speech, but our Constitution doesn't grant that anything you say is correct.
That man just summed up our whole podcast in 2 sentences.
Right?
It took us
kids
35 minutes.
If kids who are fans of Pop-Tarts... I almost said Pop-Tarts.
You did say
Pop stars.
Pop-Tarts.
Fans of pop stars think the Earth is flat because they do, then it expresses a flaw in the concept of role models. God, Neil deGrasse Tyson is the best. There's a YouTube channel that I like called Hot Stuff. No, it's called First We Feast.
Yeah, I love that.
And they have a series where they interview celebrities while eating a progressively hotter row of hot wings. And they recently did one with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it was by far my favorite episode so far. Neil deGrasse Tyson is the best.
He is the best.
I love you, Neil deGrasse Tyson, but never listen to my podcast because you'll lose all respect for me.
Yeah, you'll hate us. The way we feel about people talking about flat Earth, that's what you'll feel like about us.
Yeah.
Like a couple of fucking idiots.
Yep. Because that's what we are, because we're just
some guys.
Some idiot guys. Hey. Well, I feel like this is a good way to round out another episode of the Just Some Guys podcast. I believe this is episode 30.
This has been a good 7-hour podcast.
It's been an hour and 44 minutes. So
too long.
It's not even on our longest, so I'm fine with it.
Actually, yeah. I'm sorry. I've just been listening to 10-minute podcasts, so everything seems long.
Whatever, man. I listen to 10-minute podcasts in like 2-hour increments. So to me,
I know. I downloaded 16 podcasts this morning, got through them all on my drive there and back to work.
Yep.
And at lunch, because I listened to it at lunch.
Good podcast. It's a good podcast. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Just Some Guys podcast, episode 30. If you like it, why don't you subscribe to us on YouTube and share us on Facebook and Twitter and all the things. Please do it. We're depending on you.
Our podcast is going to be older than me soon.
Let me just tell you, okay, everyone, our success totally depends on you guys.
We are riding hard on you guys.
We are doing all we can do. We're depending on our wonderful listeners, and that's you who's listening.
We put one out once a week. We put our heart and soul into this.
I share it 1,000,000 times. Brody barely shares it once.
I share it now.
Sure you do. That remains to be seen. But what I'm getting at is that we need you.
Please.
And we appreciate you, and please just share our podcast with people.
Tell your friends.
We want to spread our mindless rants with the world, or share them with the world.
I'm sick of not being rich.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, but share with your friends. Tell all your peoples, because yeah.
Just because we said so, and we want people to hear us.
You don't even have to agree with us. Just hear us.
Yeah, don't even listen to us. Just skip to the end, listen to us saying this, and then share us.
Do it.
If anything, so we can just reach our true audience who will love and adore all we have to say. All right, everybody. Thanks again. Goodbye.